If you are a landlord and if you included utilities in the agreement, you know that you are screwed up.
What's up, landlords? I got a bad one for you today. This story is pretty much, I think, the worst one I came across so far. Before we get started, I got to give you a warning that there's some foul language. There's like a derogatory, a racial slur. I think it has something to do with India and Pakistan. I didn't really understand it. There's also, this story's coming out of Canada. So when the landlord refers to the RTB, it's a resident tenancy board or branch of government or something, I equate that to the equivalent of the tenant landlord laws that we have in the U.S. This story was broken up in a bunch of little bite-sized videos, and I had to sort through everything. So I'm going to give you the backstory a little bit. We'll go through it, and at the end, we'll talk it through. I got some notes. His intentions were to charge $2,500 a month, and with including the utilities. And if it got out of hand, he was thinking, upon lease renewal, he'll go ahead and maybe separate the utilities then. Maybe he was just trying to incentivize a tenant and just get them in there quick. And that all backfired whenever the tenants stopped paying rent and they turned into squatters. And then they started creating a Tesla charging station business out of his house. So his utilities, specifically the power, the electricity, doubled the rent. Let's get into this and I'll show you what I got. Here's the first video.
Hi folks, actually I was reading some comments from my previous videos. Some people are saying the landlords are leeches, landlords are that. Be honest, I don't want to be a landlord. I just bought a second property for my kids. When I came to Canada, I came with a $0. Me and my wife, who worked hard, we saved money. We were not going to a restaurant. We were not doing any party or anything. I don't do smoking. I don't do drinking. I don't do anything. I just saved money for my kids' future. And when I bought the house, I put the tenant there. I didn't know that there are tenancy laws. When somebody comes in Canada as a new immigrant, they don't know about all these laws. We are not coming for. I'm not a lawyer to know all these things. Now I cannot get rid of this tenant because of the strict tenancy laws, and my kids cannot live there. I gave them 2-month notice, and 2-month notice is a joke. What happened is that they went to the RTB and they filed a complaint against us. And then it took 6 months to come up any resolution. And they said, oh, by the way, you have only one child who's going to live in a 5-bedroom house. Why? It doesn't matter. She wants to live there. It's our choice. My child wants to live there, but she cannot go there. And this tenant, I cannot get rid of them now. They're stuck with me. If you buy another, I'm not a landlord. I'm just a homeowner. This is my fault is. If you buy a house and if you put any tenant there, legally you become a landlord and you have to follow all the tenancy laws. How the hell I know these tenancy laws as a new immigrant? I will not know these laws. And then even though it says month-to-month rent, there is no month-to-month rent. They are forever with you, because when they go to RTB, they will give their decision will be in their favor, because all the laws are for the tenants. Now, my kids cannot go in to live in the house. We have no other option just to sell the property, because this doesn't make it is not it is not serving our purpose right now.
All right, that's the first one. Let's look at this second one.
So now my tenant is terrorizing me and threatening me that he can lawsuit against me because he has made injury on his knee, which is totally fabrication. He knows that I have a home insurance and he can claim on my home insurance so that he can get away. He can make thousands of dollars from my home insurance. This is what you get when you rent a place for the tenants like himself. I'm not saying all the tenants are like this. Most of the tenants were nice. But if some tenants, when they know that tenancy laws, they know all these things, they play this game in their favor, and they make a miserable life for the landlords. So, you have to be very careful when you're renting your place. You have to do your due diligence. And also, you have to wipe your tenants' asses all the time. Because the RTB, the Resident Tenancy Board, is always with them. They can protect all these criminals. They get legal protection to do anything. And these tenants are stop paying me rent. I have to pay my bills. I have to pay. I'm paying the utility bills. I'm paying the utility bill thousands of dollars, and I get. I'm not getting the rent. I have to pay my mortgage, and now he's threatening me that he can file a lawsuit against me for his knee injury, which is totally fabrication. Is this fair? I'm asking you, is this fair?
No, it's not fair. All right, let's see. Here's the next one. you look, you can see the extension cord. It's a black cord, and then it goes to a blue cord, and it goes all the way up there to the front porch. Later on, there's another video where they're getting into an argument, and I believe he took this video down because I remember seeing it on his TikTok, and then he must have removed it. But fortunately, I was able to find it on Twitter. And later on, when you see that video, and there's a lot of foul language there, you'll see the blue extension cord, but the Tesla's not there. And apparently, there was multiple Teslas. Let's go to the next one.
Hi guys, this is me again with my ongoing issues, my tenant. If you are a landlord and if you included utilities in the agreement, you know that you are screwed up. You had to pay your hydro, electricity, all the bills until the tenant moves out or he dies. Then you are screwed up. You have to pay the rest of your life their utility bills. This is how the screwed up system is here in Canada. And they will misuse the rights you have given them to use the utilities. And now what's happening is they're charging their Tesla in front of my house, as you have seen in my previous post. But every day they charge the multiple Tesla cars. And this is totally unfair. And I cannot do anything for them. I have to go to hire a lawyer so that I can get my fair value. And believe me or not, the utility bills are double the price, the rent they were paying me. They are not even paying me the rent right now. And I had to pay the utility bills, the electricity, gas, hydro, everything I have to pay. Internet also included in that price. And I'm also paying all these things for them. So this is totally unfair. So never ever rent your place with the utilities. Now, the rent increase is only 1% and 2% per year. Okay, regardless you are paying the utilities, regardless the inflation rate, regardless what the interest rates are going on, you have to only increase whatever the RTB decided is 1% or 2%. If they are paying $2,000 for 2%, it's like $40 per month. What is this $40 per month? Everything price has increased for so many things. Gas has increased the price, and the electrical bills are increasing, and you cannot charge them more. So they have full right to misuse your electricity.
Yeah, let me break this down. I wrote this up in some notes right here. So let me see if I can zoom in and make this a little bit bigger. So he said it was a 5-bedroom house that he had. And I watched his other videos, and there's a lot, but I'm trying to organize it and condense it down and make it like really short and concise for you guys. So this is what I gathered and what I assume. I'm kind of trying to fill in some blanks here. So he probably wanted to rent it out for $1,900, right? And he assumed maybe 10% roughly management costs. That's like $200. And then estimated utilities like $400. So he had a grand total of rent, including utilities, as $2,500. And that's pretty much how I pieced this together, assuming, filling in some blanks. Anyways, and he probably had a mortgage because he recently was an immigrant into Canada, and unless he bought it cash, but let's say he did have a mortgage, which most people would have a mortgage. When you do the math, it's going to leave him with some cash flow, like income of like $200 a month. So all that works out fine and dandy. You'd be cash flowing $200 a month until you get a squatter situation like this, and they want to plug in a EV, Tesla, and start running up the utilities. What is the landlord actually paying, and how much in the hole is he going? So he's got to pay the $200 for the management, and then he's got to cover the stolen utilities, double the rent, which if it was $1,900, double that, $3,800, and then also factoring in the mortgage. So by my calculations, every month this landlord is getting set back $5,700. Which is crazy in my opinion. All right, let's keep going.
Hi guys, it's me again with ongoing tenant and landlord issues because due to this RTB strict laws for the landlord. We decided to visit our property because it is a landlord's right to inspect this property once a month. And we gave them enough notice to our tenants that we are coming to inspect the property. So once we arrived there, we noticed there are some slur word written on the shed, which was very disappointing to see that this thing can happen in Canada. And it was a racist slur written by our tenants. So I was very shocked to see that they can do like this. And also, when we knocked the door, we said that we need to inspect the property because we are selling our house. Next week is a possession date, and we will not be in town. So they refused to give us entry, even though we gave them a 4 days full notice. And we tell them exactly what time we'll be coming over there. And they said, no, RTB says we cannot come to the house and see the inspect the property. I cannot believe that RTB can do like this. As a landlord, this is our right to inspect the property, and we gave them enough notice to go over there. And they say, no, you cannot do that. And they were handing me over the letter, that this letter, read this letter from the RTB. We said, we haven't received any letter from them. He said, this is the letter. I mean, you cannot give me the letter on the same day when I'm arriving. You have to bring it to my home or register the letter so that we can receive it. Anyway, we end up calling the cops. And the cops said, yes, we have a right because we give them enough notice. And but they said the tenants are not going to cooperate with us at all, and they will escalate the situation. So we end up saying, okay, we will not continue here, and we will stop doing it. And the RCMP says that if the new buyer raise any issues or any claim anything about the damaging the property, we have legal right to go after the tenants and sue them. So this is what we decided to do that. And also just want to thank you for watching my videos. And in my next video, I will give you some updates, and I will give you some answer of your questions. You had some questions in the comments, and I will answer some of the questions. So I really thank you and appreciate your all feedback you have given me, negative or positive, doesn't matter. At least I have started this conversation. So hope to see you in my next video. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good point. At least he started the conversation. You know, that's what we're trying to do here. All right, so let me break away and go to the Twitter. This is the bad video. So if you don't want to hear some cussing and stuff, do not watch it, because I don't know how to bleep it out.
What are you gonna do?
What do you mean, what are you going to do?
You fucking run to the cops? Suck my dick.
Of course, I'll go to the cops.
Yeah, because you fucking wrote that and you want to pin it on me. You know
I
what?
wrote it.
could
Do you know
knock
who's
your
spelling?
fucking
Don't
teeth
do that.
out.
Don't
I'll
do that.
Knock your fucking teeth out.
Yeah.
You terrorize people. You rip off every
I terrorize
tenant.
people. You terrorize people.
You
terrorize people. Are you threatening me for this kind of things?
Listen.
You keep threatening me that I'll be used, sir. I'll be served.
Yeah, Salah,
You
yeah,
don't
you know
lie.
that.
Yeah. I'll call cops on you again. You know that. Yeah. And you don't lie. Don't lie. Okay. Lying.
You're the
Yes.
biggest
Yeah.
liar.
You are
You know
lying
what?
that you're gonna damage your knee. That's a lie.
Yes.
You know.
I have doctor's report. Shut up.
Doctor's
and listen
report.
to
What
me.
reports?
Li-
Yeah, what reports?
listen
You
to
were
me.
sick like this. You were
Hey.
sick like this.
Sick like
You are
this,
sick like
your
this for the whole day
fucking
like
pussy.
this.
You fucking.
Yeah.
I fell here. on
You
this
don't
road.
fail. You don't fail. You are lying.
I shoveling.
You are lying. You are making a story so that you can make money from the insurance company. You are holding something. You are holding something. This is a weapon. You know that this is a weapon. You don't come to me. You don't come to me. What are you gonna do? You gonna hit me?
Did I claim on the insurance?
Yeah, you are doing because you keep threatening me. You keep threatening me that there will be lawsuit my ass.
Why don't you come here?
Yeah.
You wanna fucking go?
No, I don't want to go anywhere.
Then what?
I don't want to fight. I just want to talk to you. I want to be fair. You're not fair with me.
You yelling at me. Listen
Yeah,
to
because
me.
you start yelling at me. I was talking to you, you start yelling at me.
Don't fucking yell.
And every time you tell me that you're gonna sue me, you're gonna sue me.
Listen, why can't I talk?
Yeah.
I fell here.
What did you write?
I fell and
You didn't fail. You don't fail. You are making up the story. Don't touch me. Don't touch it. You know, I will call cops. I'll call cops. It's my house. I'll stay.
No, I'm fucking paying rent.
This is you are paying rent. How much you're paying? I didn't get rent for last 3-4 months.
Rental. Yeah,
I didn't
because
get.
you owe me money.
You owe you money for what?
Fucking for 8 years what I did here.
You're living here. You've been living here.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
fucking party.
That's what you wrote. You said Paki. You wrote this. Yeah, you wrote this.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about, packy. It's like a derogatory term. It's rough. All right, let's keep going.
Hello guys. I also noticed that my tenant has created an account, TikTok account, and they are sharing my family's information, our home address, and they put my family's picture there, and they're putting on the internet. I did not put their family's information. Neither I showed where they are living. Neither I mentioned their full name or anything like that. I recorded the video for one of the tenant. Reason is because he was threatening me, he was hitting me, and I want to create an evidence to show to the police. And that's the video I showed here in TikTok. But now what they're doing is they are putting my family pictures there. They're putting my full address everywhere so that they can harass me like this. You know, they had to take it down. If they don't take it down, unfortunately, I can do the same thing for them. I can put their family's pictures, I can put their address, and I can put their employee name, because they're also doing the same thing. They're putting our employee name and things like that. So we can do the same thing for them. So I I'm just telling them to stop doing it. Remove your my family pictures from your account, and you have no right to share this information. Hi guys, I just want to give you the update. We just signed our document for the property, so we just sold it. Thanks God, everything went smooth. So tomorrow is a possession date, so no more tenants and no more hassle again with these people who are playing around with RTP and all these things. So no more tenant for us, thanks God. And we sold the house. Everything was smooth. So I just want to give you the update. Thank you so much. And I think today's a beautiful day for me. Thank you. And moving forward will be nice for me. Thank you so much for your support, guys.
All right, here's the last one.
Hi guys, this is Sal again. I decided to give you some updates what's going on with my property. Actually, we just sold it, and then and I also gave them a 2 month notice to the tenants to move out because the new buyer is coming to stay in the house. Then what happened is that after the possession date, the new buyers came there with their stuff to move in the house, and they were surprised to see the tenants are still there. Even though we gave them 2 months notice, enough notice that we sold the house and the new buyer is coming to stay in the house, they were still there in the house. They didn't move out. Now, my question is, who has the right to stay in the house? Either the tenants or the landlord who purchased this property recently, and he's moving in with the family in the house, and the tenants were still there. And so they end up calling the cops, and cops couldn't do anything because they said, okay, this is tenants are living there, you cannot move in. My question is, who has the right to live in the house? Either the tenants or the landlord who just purchased the house. Who has the right? Looks like tenants has more rights than the landlords. I mean, even if somebody buys a property, if somebody is living there, that person has more rights than the person who purchased the property. I cannot believe this thing, I mean, is this fair? Guys, let me know, is this fair? That if you buy a property and you cannot live there with your family because the tenants are there and you cannot kick them out, you cannot move them. I mean, you had to go through the tenancy board, all these steps, it takes forever. It takes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months or 11 months or 1 year to get rid of the tenants. So the tenancy laws are screwed up here in Canada. I mean, you cannot do anything. So nobody knows who has the right here, either tenants or the landlord. I'm not talking about the big landlords who has thousands of properties. I'm talking about single, one family or two family, the middle class people who are buying a second house for the kids, and the kids cannot move in there because of the tenants. Who has more rights here, guys? Let me know.
This video is getting a little long. Sorry to keep you guys. I just tried to piece everything together as best I could and to get the story out. And I kudos to this dude putting himself out there, taking a risk, sharing his story. And we definitely can learn a lot from him. Let me get to my notes. Basically, what I got here is just to try to send this home, use this entertaining, unfortunate story to our advantage and try to learn from it. So number one, obviously we've learned never include the utilities with the rent, and specify those details in the lease, and make sure you know your tenant landlord laws, your RTB laws, wherever you're at. You got to learn that stuff. That's up to you. And something to consider is a lot of real estate specific law firms will allow you to have a free consultation. So just find a real estate specific attorney in your area. The way you know that they're a specialized real estate specific attorney is when you go to their website, it should clearly say real estate attorney, something like that. You don't want a jack of all trade, master of none attorney. They'll be like, yeah, we'll handle that. But they're not specialized in that. So you want to be able to get with an attorney that really knows the ins and outs of the business. All right. And another lesson that we learn from here is never provoke the squatters, because they're better at fighting dirty. They have nothing to lose. Don't sink to their level. And, I've seen a little bit of a trend in some of these other videos where when you provoke these tenants, they power up, man. They're ready to go. They want to fight. So once you go there, you try to be cordial. You see if you can, reconcile the situation. If it starts going south, just back up, get out of there, and don't push anymore. I think it might be worth a shot and try, go there and try to see what you can do. Maybe offer some cash for keys, whatever your resources and whatever you can think of to try to fix the situation. But right when they start powering up and they're ready to fight and stuff like that, get out of there. Do not take the risk. Okay, and be sure to protect your personal info. As a landlord, a small-time landlord, you probably aren't set up as good as you could be, especially if you're getting into this business right away. But what you want to do is you want to get a business email, a business second line business number, and a business address. You don't want to be using your personal stuff. Also in the ownership, if you have public record, the tenants, some of them are crafty. They can look up the ownership, and on public record, if you have your mailing address, it's called a absentee owner. If your mailing address is different than the physical property address, the rental address, that's a way that they can find your personal address. So use a registered agent or a business address of some sort, and try to keep your personal information separate. And then it's something in the military that we learned is called OPSEC, operational security. You don't want to be sharing your personal information on social media. And a good example of this is, let's say you have pictures or videos and your house is in the background and you could see your street address, or your family is in the background, or your car tag. They'll see the make, model, and then they'll see the tag number in the background. That's like OPSEC stuff. You want to make sure that you're aware of your situation, your surroundings and everything, and you're not skylighting yourself, basically putting your information out there where somebody that's wanting to kind of scour the internet and piece all the little puzzle pieces together and figure out more information about you. You want to avoid that. All right, and the last thing here that I want to point out is this sad truth of the whole situation here. This landlord is going to miss out on cash flow forever. He ended up selling that property for a loss with the squatter still in there. And it was for less than market value, just to get out of the whole situation, exit the whole idea of being a landlord. And it's just, I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm here. All right. I just want to help landlords cash flow forever, and I'm bringing these stories to you guys, and hopefully we're learning stuff and spreading the word. If you're interested in learning more about me, check me out online at foreverlandlord.com. That's it for now. See ya. Bye.